Hello, Linda Maricoll. Today we're going to talk about the feeling that is when the energy descends very quickly in the body. So say we're walking down the street, suddenly someone jumps out at us. Energy quickly descends for fight or flight. Say I'm going to give a big presentation where I work. And I'm getting that sense of, oh, I'm not scared, this is going to be good. I might begin to lock up the hips because fear, and fear is a big word, so it can be any level of fear, is what we call that feeling of energy descending for fight or flight. It's a very natural reaction. And remember, we come across a situation or object, it passes through our consciousness, so our relation to that object may cause the energy to descend for fight or flight. So it's a good process to happen. Personally, I would pick flight, but that's just me. So we can begin to get an area, again, if I'm not comfortable with the mental label of being afraid, I may lock up the hips, which would affect low back pain, hip pain, and the internal organ that gets injured by all of this is kidney. Kidney does a lot of work at sending energy up in the body for many reasons. Helps with the whole process of how we get our energy on a daily basis from the foods that we eat and the air that we breathe. Also, kidney works with lung and respiration. The two of them have a beautiful energetic dance with inhalation, kidneys grasping that breath, and exhalation where lung is grasping it. So what can happen, of course, when we get frightened, what happens? We go, we pull our breath in, and it kind of stays there because all the energy is descending, and kidney can't send that energy up. We live in a pretty fearful culture, and it's interesting that there's so many respiratory ailments. It's interesting to me from the perspective of Chinese medicine that we live in a layer of fear on some level in just about every aspect of our lives in our culture. Anyway, what do you do is the big question. And we can't stop what makes us frightened because we can begin to work with those parts, but just running across things that frighten us is part of life. And running away from them is also part of life, or fighting them. So this particular movement is really wonderful because it does help kidney with that ability to send energy up in the body for all those different reasons, respiration among one of the more important ones of them. And so the hand thing we're going to do, the points that we're going to hold, that I believe really helps activate the meridians that help move this energy along, is kind of cool because it looks like the Italian evil eye. I just, again, like the peace sign one, it's an interesting coincidence to me. When we do this movement, what we're going to do, and I'll stand to the side to help you see that, is we're going to, when we raise our arms, we're going to flatten the sacrum. I don't want it in an exaggerated way, like you don't have to do this. But on the inhale, as you raise the arms, we're going to flatten the sacrum, and as we exhale, it's just going to come back to a natural position. So resist the urge to do an extreme of that. Let's just keep it in and out. So the movement is actually almost like a pumping to help that energy get up in the body. It's really, really cool. So let's take a moment. We're going to connect with that breath and really use your imagination on this one. Get the idea that the kidneys are inhaling, the breath is going all the way down, and exhaling from the kidneys. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you are aware of a label of fear that you're dealing with right now, let that be present. Remember, we create space and invite those parts of us to be present. So if there's a part of you that's feeling a little fearful, invite that part. Create space when you do the inhales and exhales in this area of your body. So then we're going to begin. Inhale, flattening the sacrum, arms just up to shoulder height, and exhale. My knees are soft, my joints are soft. Inhaling and exhaling, beautiful pumping motion. And again, like all the others, we're doing 7 of them. So we'll do one more. And come back. Just bring your awareness to this segment. Deep breathing. So we've covered a couple of segments so far in this series of videos. We've done the chest, we've done the hips. If you want, you can always add, because we have that respiration aspect to this, you can always add that movement for sadness, the lungs in there, to help encourage that inhale, exhalation, if you'd like. You can do the 3 we've learned, set it up as a series of 3. When we're finished with all the movements, the 6 movements in this series, we will do one video of just moving them together. So enjoy working with your fear and keeping awareness, the magical question. Something comes along, where am I feeling this on my body? And let's let go of labels. Let's, just for the fun of it, when we do that exercise in our everyday, not worry about, oh, is this fear, is this sadness? And where you feel it on the body, select one of those movements we've learned so far. And I promise you, by the time we're done this series of 6 movements, you will have a movement for all of those 5 segments. So in the meantime, until we do another video, be well and be happy.